ain't never gonna stop this fire.
I can't believe this business is so incredible. And if I could do this, every single one of you can do this. Every single one of you.
Something higher, ain't never gonna stop this fire.
Oh man, guys, I am so excited to be here today. What an epic moment. We are going live on our podcast on this episode for the first time, I think ever, if memory serves me correct. And it is going to be with an amazing guest. I'm good friends with this guy. He's a Rhino who came into the tribe. He had immediate success. His first deal was $20,000, which is insane. That is much larger than the average first deal. My first deal was $2,000, so he beat me by 10 times. And we're on video, which is awesome. So now everyone, they'll know where I get my energy from because they'll be able to see the Murphy bed that's behind me for my noon siesta that I take to revitalize. But guys, this is going to be a great episode. This episode is all going to be about how one deal can totally alter the trajectory of your entire life. Not only is this one deal just amazing, I had to share it with you, but additionally, this one deal came in from an ad spend of about $3. It was a $3 ad spend, and it is a deal. When you guys hear this deal, you are going to you're going to think it's not true. That's how unbelievable this deal is. So I'm excited. Guys, my name is Tom Krol from America's #1 wholesaling real estate training program, Wholesaling Inc. I am super excited to be with you here today. If you don't know what wholesaling is the art of consistently finding discounted properties. If you can get good at consistently finding discounted properties, you will become a multi-millionaire. I can guarantee you that. So we're going to get started today with Mike Whitehead. He is a former MMA fighter, one of our Rhinos who came in and crushed it, and we are going to put him in the hot seat. We're going to pick his brain. We're not going to leave anything unsaid. So all the questions you're going to have are going to get answered on exactly how you can repeat exactly what he did to find one deal that will change your life. So Mike, I can see you. Can you hear me? Am I coming through okay?
Yep, all good.
Awesome. Well, it's good to be with you here today, brother. I've never done a recorded podcast before on video, so thank you for being our guinea pig and our first one. I'm honored to have you on. Before we deep dive this deal that you did, and I know everyone is anticipating, everyone is anxious to hear about this, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started and all that good stuff?
Okay. Yeah. I guess I was on the podcast before, but flipped my first house in 2013. Played around with some mobile homes, played around with some notes over the years. Wholesaled my first deal last year, I believe in June, and from there just been going, focused only on wholesaling. So. And
that was that 20K deal?
Exactly. Yeah. I think you can see. Can you see my bell?
I love that victory bell. I hope we sent it to you.
Oh yeah.
Bam! Oh, yeah. I love it. I get to see our guests and students on, and the Rhinos right on video now. I love it so much better. So, well, good. No one cares about you, so let's get right to the deal. So let's not waste anyone's time. So first of all, first question is, this deal is really, guys, a spectacular deal, and Mike's going to pour into you here now and tell you all about it. But the first question that everyone is going to want to know is, how the heck did you find this motivated seller who was willing to sell their property at such a massive discount?
So I got this one through, I've only done one run of Bandit signs. I haven't gone back to it just because there's a decent amount of people doing it already, and I've gone into some other marketing lanes that I enjoy better. So this was the one run of Bandit signs I did. So this Bandit sign literally cost me, with the stake, $1.25.
That's awesome. How many did you put out?
I put out, I did 6 runs of 100, so 600 total.
So that is very telling, guys, because if you hear what Mike just said, he did 600. So that's a very telling number because, yeah, go ahead.
100 out a week for 6 weeks.
And first of all, I assume, first of all, guys, I just want to say this for anyone who's listening. If you are putting out bandit signs, make sure that they're legal in your county, city, township, or municipality. That's very important. You don't want to break the law. So you put out these bandit signs. A few questions on the bandit signs. Number one, what did it say? Number two, did it go to voicemail or did it go directly to your cell phone? And number three, how big was it and what was the font? What was the color? Anything that we need to know. And where did you put them so that someone could go out and say, I want to do exactly what Mike did?
Okay, so first question was what?
So I want to know about basically
what it said,
and did it go to voicemail or text or voicemail or
easy? We buy houses for cash, yellow with black print. Regular size, 12 by or 18 by 22 with a stake, unless there was a pole there. I put them out. I went online and found the intersections that had the most traffic, and I put them in those intersections along with Home Depot, Lowe's, stuff like that people go to on the weekends. I put them out on Friday and just left them out.
I love it. And did it go to voicemail or did it go directly to your cell phone?
So halfway through, I switched it and it was going to voicemail. Halfway through, I switched it to go straight to my my cell phone and picked them up live.
Awesome. I love it. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So that's very repeatable. So there you go, guys. There's everything you need to know about how to put out the bandit sign. Who was the vendor that you used? Do you remember to buy the bandit?
Dirt cheap. Dirt cheap.
Very popular. Very popular, those guys.
Yeah, he used to work with good guys over there. And they got them out quick.
Awesome. I love that. Okay, so now this lady calls you and tell us about the deal. How did it happen? What did she say? Did you visit her? I want to know the details. So the phone rings. What happens?
I got so much notes here. So this deal's been going on literally since last year. So notes, and I'm just keeping myself on point here. But call came in. I didn't pick up live. I believe I was on the other line. I listened to the voicemail. She said she has 8 properties. She's having a hard time getting rid of them. She's seen my sign and that she's already worked with a couple wholesalers and not had any success. And so I called her up, went over and met with her, got the addresses, got kind of the situation. So she is a landlord who back in the day, she was buying cheap properties from the city, fixing them up and then renting them to people from her church who were low income, who couldn't afford nice houses. And so she would rent to them until they got back on their feet. She had I don't know exactly how many she had at one time. She had a decent amount. She was down to these last 8, and her husband died about 3 years ago, and I think she just kind of gave up. She just kind of lost the passion for it and just didn't want to deal with it anymore. A couple of them went vacant. She let them go vacant. She didn't try and get them going again, performing again. So she just left them vacant, and she just was tired. And so her thing to me is she said the first wholesaler that she signed with had her sign a 6-month deal. She didn't know that she thought she was tied in, that she was locked in with this guy, that she couldn't do anything with him, which I informed her that wasn't the case. But, so she thought she was locked in for 6 months. She couldn't do anything with the properties for 6 months. The guy called her a couple times in that 6 months, gave her some stories about that he's still trying, blah, blah, blah. Second guy comes in. She goes, well, I'm not going to do 6 months. I'll do 3 months with this guy. Second guy didn't even call her once in 3 months. She gave me 90 days. She gave me 90 days. She gave me 90 days to get something started on these. I got the first one wholesaled, I believe, in 3 weeks.
Beautiful. And how much did you make on that first deal?
So the first one I made 10 grand.
10 grand. Okay.
First one I made 10 grand. The second one was a couple weeks after that. I made 18 grand.
Woo!
The third one was a week after that. I made 7,500.
That's amazing.
So those are the first 3 gone. Now, the reason that the last 5 are not wholesaled is that they were too close. There was not really enough room to wholesale. So I went to her and I presented to her a deal where I could tell that she was tired. She didn't want to deal with him anymore. Some of these were vacant. Some of these were performing. And I said, have you ever thought about, subject to. I explained to her what subject to was. Like, I would take over. You wouldn't be, responsible for the mortgage payments or any phone calls. I'll take all the phone calls. I'll take all the responsibility. Something breaks, I'm going to take care of it. All the responsibility is off your shoulders. You just keep them in your name. I will take care of them.
So let's just explain for everyone who's listening exactly what a subject to is. It's subject to the existing mortgage.
Exactly.
So you're buying the house, but you're keeping her mortgage in place.
Yep.
And then you're going to be responsible to pay those mortgage payments.
The mortgage payments. Basically, I pay them straight to the mortgage company. So that's a really key part in this whole deal. Don't pay to the person, pay to the actual mortgage company, because if you pay to the person and then the person pockets it, at the end you can get in some issues there. So I pay straight to her mortgage company. So I know the insurance is being paid, I know the tax money is being set aside, and I know the mortgage is being paid. Okay.
So right now, so now the way, I just want for everyone to saying, well, how do you make money? I assume what you're making money on is the spread, the difference between what you pay the mortgage company and then what you either rent the house out for or sell it with owner financing or whatever, however your exit strategy. Is that accurate?
Yep.
Okay.
So 2 ways I make. Well, actually, truly, there's 3 ways, and on some of these I will make money in 3 ways. But the first two ways is, number one, the spread. So let's just go over the first one so we're done with those, Quincy.
Well, and while you're looking at those numbers, let me ask you, a lot of people are going to say, yeah, but Mike, why would a seller want to keep the mortgage in their name? So my first question is, doesn't the seller say, but yeah, Mike, I don't want to carry that mortgage, or do they really not care?
She obviously was reluctant, but she knew enough to understand that with the little bit of room there was between what she owed on them and what they were worth, she was either going to have to come out of pocket, or it really wasn't even going to be worth her time to sell it, or she couldn't even got what some of them needed some fix up, so that she wouldn't even be able to get that from the MLS. She would have had to come out of pocket. So right. I let her know, going with me, I'm going to take care of those things, and you don't have to worry about it.
Now, one thing that's important to point out, guys, that Mike is in such a strong position is, and we have not spoken any detail about this deal at all, but I can tell you that probably that these mortgage are already far into being paid. Is that right, Mike? Like, so if it's a 30-year mortgage, how many years has she already been paying on that mortgage?
She's been paying on it, but she refied.
Okay.
That's why they're close.
Got it. Okay.
So she refied on some of these, she refied within the last couple of years. One of them she refied. Okay. Yeah, one of them she refied like 10 years ago. So there was a little bit more room, and there's room on all these, especially going lease option off the backside. But one of them she refied a couple years ago, and so it was very little room.
So before we just go a little further, because we're going really fast and there's a lot of jargon getting thrown around, so I just want to be clear. So you had said that, so you put the properties under contract to buy, you wholesaled 3, you took over the other 5, the mortgage payments, and you said that on the back end you did a lease purchase option. Can you explain what a lease purchase option is to exit the properties, what that looks like?
So basically, for that person, they lease it, and doing the creative finance stuff, it can look like whatever you want, guys. It doesn't have to be in the box. It doesn't have to be a certain amount and some up front and some in the back. It can look like whatever you want. So the minute you try and put creative finance in a box, it's going to jump out. Like it can look like whatever. So the way that I have these is, I got a down payment. I have a monthly payment that is over the mortgage payment of each one of these. So the person coming into this, the reason why the person on the backside is doing this deal is they can't buy a property off the MLS for whatever reason. They don't have good credit. They don't have the income. Well, they got to have the income because of the payment, but a lot of times it's credit. A lot of times they just have issues getting credit worthy to buy something off the MLS. So they're going to come to me. I'm going to take a down payment. Obviously, I'm going to do some background check and make sure I'm not selling to someone horrible. But, I'm going to look to make sure that they have the income to support the payment, that I'm not putting somebody in to lose. and they're going to come in. They're going to put a down payment, so they're already invested in the property. And some of these, they're even going to be fixing them up. The very first one, it needed some foundation issues. The guy came in, I gave him a break on the down payment. He took the money from the down payment that I gave him a break. I still got a decent sized down payment, but he fixed the foundation.
So just to be clear, what you're saying is on the exit of this property, you are essentially doing a rent to own. Like they're going to give you money down towards a purchase price, which is more than what you're paying for the house. So they're going to give you a percentage down, then they're going to make you a monthly payment, and a portion of that payment is getting taken off of what the purchase price is. It can or maybe not. Okay.
It have to be. Again, like when you try and put creative finance in the box, it's just this way.
I love it.
Like I know guys that don't do that.
Right.
I know guys that do lease options and they don't get a rent credit. So it can. I do.
Okay.
I do.
Okay, so you have that, and then at a certain point, they are obligated to go out and get a loan and pay you the remainder of what's left, right? And then you would pay off the note, or you tell me. So there's a lot of people listening, right? And they don't know what a lease purchase is. So I just want to make sure that we don't confuse them.
Well, and that's my point is, like, don't get caught up in that it has to look one way. So what you just said is very true. A lot of people do like a 3-year term. So it's a lease option that's got what they call got teeth in it. Like within 3 years, you got to pull this thing into your name. What I did, and some people will frown on this, but I basically did a mortgage in lease option terms. There is no end term. There is no end date. They can basically take as long, making their payments obviously over the amount of years that these are, and most of them are 8-year terms, but that pays the house off completely. So I didn't do a 3-year term or a 5-year term. I did, well, this is how long it's going to take. If you pay this amount all throughout through the whole time, this is how long it's going to take for you to pay this house off. So
I love it.
In terms, it's a mortgage.
Absolutely. And Mike he's totally right. You can, when it comes to creative financing, as long as it's within the law, you could pretty much create anything that you want to create. So I love that. That's very, very cool. Now, let me get to some numbers here. What kind of monthly revenue, and guys, I don't even know these deals, but I could tell you to do one deal with 8 deals and knock it out like this. What are you, on those 5 properties, what are you anticipating that's going to cash flow per month, not even including the down payments?
Okay, so my gross cash flow per month is $36.50 right now.
Awesome.
My net cash flow per month is $15.45.
Awesome.
Okay.
And is that with all 5 being rented?
So all 5 are performing right now. Now 4 of them are lease options. One had a renter in it that the owner asked me politely to let them stay because they've been with her for so long.
Sure.
I politely said, okay, I would like for them to get out because even this morning they called me about the AC. So we're starting to get some warm weather here. My guy went out and said that there was a switch not pulled. He charged me $50. I wouldn't have been charged that on all my other 4. Those things I want to get away from. Anyway, so all 5 of them are performing right now. So I'll just start from the beginning. First one I did was Quincy. The ARV on it was 44. I sold it. What was owed on it was 20. What was owed on it was 20. I sold it for, I believe, 47. And the mortgage payment on that per month is $325. And my monthly payment from him is $460. So I cash flow $135. That was the first one. I did it wrong. I should have done at least $200. That's kind of the sweet spot where I wanted to be. I got a little hot and heavy getting it. So I also got a $4,000 down payment. It was going to be an $8,000 down payment. I gave him a credit of $4,000
for the repairs
and repair because it had a fairly major foundation issue. He had a guy that could do the foundation. I said, and we put it in the contract. You take this $4,000 and you put it into that foundation, and he did.
Okay, so we don't have to get into the numbers of each property, but the bottom line is you made upfront between all of your down payments and all of the assigning, right? It was that's got to be a big number.
out of all the assignments, and it's crazy. If we go back and listen to my podcast with Cody, I told him that I'm probably going to make somewhere around 60 grand off this deal before I had it and it was in the works. So with all the assignments and all the down payments for the lease options, I made $62,500.
That's awesome, man. That's great. And plus you have now cash flow pretty much for years and years and years, which is incredible, because how much money did you actually put into this deal? Not a lot, guys. Not a lot.
I don't think I did any. Let me think.
Wholesaling is the greatest business in the world. I hope that. Oh man.
I thought about that question, but I didn't put any money into the ones I wholesaled, obviously, and then these ones that I got lease options, I got them to take care of the repairs. So
let me ask you a question. Are you using a servicing company to pay those mortgages, or you just do it? I know you said direct, but
I'm not right now. I want to get to that point.
Not a bad idea.
I want to get this last one. These renters out, which it sounds like they're going to be getting out soon. They keep saying that they hate the property. There's nothing wrong with the property, but they hate that I'm now making them pay their rent on time. They were paying their rent on like the 15th and the 18th for years. Sure. And now that because I'm making them pay on the on or before the 5th and they get late fees, they're hating me. So I'm like, well, just move out.
Hey, listen, I just got out of a meeting with my bookkeeper and my personal assistant, Tony. She's a total rock star. And we finally, I could tell you for sure, the biggest lie ever told to real estate investors is that you can make passive income through single family rentals. You can make monthly income, but certainly not passive. As a matter of fact, I know that because a lot of the properties I buy come from landlords who thought that rental properties were going to be passive income. Those are my favorite motivated sellers. But
so are you turning all yours into seller finance deals, or are you just selling them and moving into like condo or apartments?
So my plan is a little bit different. So I want to have 4 years of cash in the bank. This is very controversial and it's going to cause a lot of comments to come up. But I will tell you that my mentors are putting me in a little bit of a different category. So I'm doing 4 years of liquid cash. I'm converting half of that, of those 4 years into 20% of physical gold. And then I have my rental portfolio and I have my owner financing portfolio. Obviously, the ROI on the owner financing is absolutely through the roof. Those properties are free and clear. So I love it.
I know a guy down in Texas who he took I think he had something over 800 rentals and he turned every one of them into a seller finance deal. So he got rid of all rentals and he's moved completely into owner finance.
You have to be careful because there are new laws about doing that. So you have to make sure you're following the letter of the law. But yeah, I love that idea. And the ROI is, some people will say, well, if you do 30-year mortgages, it's going to end in 30 years. With the kind of percentages that we're making, I could really care less. So I love this. This is really awesome. And I just want to encourage everyone, guys, this is how one deal can literally for $1.25 or really closer to $600 or $700 because you had to put out a lot and you wouldn't have been able to just pick that one. So, but for $600 or $700 or $800, how you could have a deal that gives you over $60,000 up front plus monthly cash flow about netting what, $1,500 you said?
Yeah, $1,545. And those, as they get paid off, obviously that'll go up.
And without putting any money in the deal and really no risk because the mortgages aren't even in your name. So you're not even taking on any debt. So it's really, really powerful, guys. I just want to encourage everyone. If you're thinking about wholesaling, I don't even know what else to say. I mean, that just speaks for itself.
For me, it's all about not being the first or the second wholesaler that went to this lady, because I guarantee they did the same thing. They looked at the numbers and like, oh, there's no deal here. Right. And they didn't think outside the box. And I literally had so she gave the last guy 3 months. She gave the last guy 3 months. I had 45 days. I had a month and a half to do something with them and show her that I could perform. And I have a great relationship with her now. I've taken her to the title company a couple times on the wholesale deals. She's rode with me. I know her family now. And she's loving me, So
that's awesome, man.
Yeah. So
and this is, and you were an MMA fighter. This is not even like in your wheelhouse. I mean, it's not like you were trained and you went to like, you studied under an apprentice. I mean, this is, you guys, you have a lawn care guy and an MMA fighter, and we have, national news broadcasters and single moms, with 2 kids and I mean, CPAs and attorneys and doctors and, chefs. And I mean, it doesn't matter. So,
Nope.
brother, I'm ringing the victory bell for you again.
Yeah.
And I also just want to say as a side note, Mike is a rock star. He is such a big go-giver. As being a Rhino, he helps so many Rhinos in the tribe. So, Mike, I just want to tell you, we shout out to you. It's a shout out. We love you. We respect you. You're a good man. You have a good heart. So thank you for everything you do, man.
Appreciate it. Thanks, buddy.
Awesome. So this is our first one. So I don't know, how do I sign off on a video podcast?
I just want to say thanks to you guys. You and Cody and Brett. You guys, you talk about me being a go-giver. You guys give so much material, so much content, and it was great meeting you down in Asheville. You guys are awesome. Couldn't have done this without you guys. So thank you.
Absolutely, it's an honor. Hey, next summit is 2020 in October in Orlando. Are you gonna be there?
That's so long away.
We couldn't do it this year, brother. It was too much. Those events are a bear. They are a bear.
Yeah.
I've got 5 kids.
Yeah, I'll be there.
We'll see you, Orlando. All right, guys. Well, that was Mike Whitehead. He's a rock star Rhino out of Kansas City. He's a total go-giver, a total sweetheart. So many of our Rhinos rely on him. He even has, like, within our tribe, a small little mastermind that he put together, and he is out there crushing it. $20,000 in his first deal. One deal for like a few hundred, $600, $700, $800 to do $60K in his pocket, plus monthly cash flow of $1,500 with no money in the deal at all. Bam! I love this business. Head on over to Wholesaling Inc., wholesalinginc.com. Check us out. Fill out an application. If we like what you have to say, we might even invite you in to be a Rhino. All right, brother. Rhino salute, man. Come on. I love it. Talk to you soon, Mike. Thanks, buddy. We'll talk to you soon. All right. God bless. Bye-bye.